Hi guys, it's Tina. Today we are gonna talk about I don't love Mistborn Arrow 1. So today we're gonna talk about the reasons why I didn't love Brandon Sanderson's series of Mistborn Arrow 1. I told you guys a couple weeks ago or a week ago, depending on when I upload this video, that I was possibly going to make a video about my opinions about this series and why I don't like it, and now I'm doing it. So this is not spoiler free. This is full of spoilers. So if you have not read this, I would not watch this video. Actually, here, I'll make a part of it spoiler free. Here's your spoiler free discussion review. This book, The Final Empire, loved, adored, perfect. There's nothing wrong with this book. 5 out of 5 stars. Dialogue is great. If you know me or have been around a little bit, dialogue is my jam. You have good dialogue, you can have a crappy plot, you can have a crappy book, but if you have good conversations in that book, I'm going to love it. So that's it. Dialogue in this was amazing. I loved how they talked to each other. I loved how they build friendships with dialogue. I loved this book. Characters were amazing. Plot was amazing. It was just a fun read. Love this book. Probably will reread this book a couple of times. This book was amazing. Can't say I will gush over this book. The Well of Ascension. I liked this book. I liked where it went, and I like to see this side of how he told this story after the first book. I liked that. Hated the ending. Hate the ending so much, and I will get into that afterwards, which knocked this book down to a 3 stars to me. This is a 3 out of 5 stars. I liked it. I'm satisfied with the ending, but I liked this book's innards, like this book's plot and everything, and how this book was executed more than I liked this. The only reason why this is, I did this 4 out of 5 stars. The only reason why it's 4 out of 5 stars is because I am satisfied with the way this concluded. That is where I'm at with that. This concludes the non-spoiler part of this discussion, and now we get into the spoiler parts. So, back to The Final Empire. I could gush about this book so much. I love the story. I love the heist. I loved how it ended. I love that Brandon Sanderson took the risk and killed off Kelsier. There's nothing about this book that I didn't love. I love the magic system, all of the things that everybody else says. Yeah, I love this book. There's not much I really want to talk about this book. Get into the Well of Ascension. I loved the fact that everything wasn't rainbows and roses once they took out the Lord Ruler. I loved that it was dreary. It was almost getting worse. It was getting worse than when the Lord Ruler was in power. I loved that they were just basically in a sinking ship and you felt like they couldn't pull it out. I loved all of those parts. I loved how Vin and Elend got closer together. I loved how they're trying to figure out how they're gonna rule. I loved how he kept messing up. I mean, all of this was seriously interesting. And this parts I couldn't put it down. What I don't love is Brandon Sanderson killed off Kelsier. But he didn't. Because just about every page in this book, Kelsier was there. It was all about, what would Kelsier do? Or he's not here. Or I wish he was here. Like, literally, like, I understand mourning a friend, but at some point you gotta stand on your own and you gotta figure out life without him. Like, at some point you just gotta move on. And it's basically like he didn't kill him off because he was still in this story as predominantly as the other characters. So I felt like Brandon Sanderson killed him off, took the risk in the first book, but didn't really want to because he was still in this book. And I don't know what else to say about that. He was still in this book, which hugely irritated me. Like, I felt when you kill a character, you kill a character. You can bring them up, yes, but not almost every page. Or it felt like, it could not be every page, but it felt like it was almost every page that he was here. So it didn't feel like he was actually dead. The ending is another story. The ending, I feel like Ellen should have died. It kind of felt like you killed somebody, you're mourning them for that second, or you're like, it's exciting to me when they kill off main characters. It makes me want to read the book more. Like, what are you going to do now? How are you going to live without this main character? What's going to go on next? It was killing a character and bringing them back to life, which I really hate that trope. I loved the fact that Vin and Ellen were at two separate... They weren't equals at all. Vin was a Mistborn. Ellen was a normal person, but he was extremely smart. So I felt like I liked their power difference. Or when he made Ellen a Mistborn, they were on equal ground, so there wasn't conflict between the two of them. There wasn't the insecurities between the two of them in their relationship. There wasn't a power struggle. There wasn't a, all of that. That made the second book, I think, great. That was taken away in the Hero of Ages. Now, granted, the Hero of Ages was less about the relationship and more about trying to figure out how to make their world survive with the impending doom of the ruin coming. And so they really didn't need that. But so I guess being on the same ground made it so that Ellen could actually fight the ruin, because without being Mistborn, he would have been hopeless. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like how it was done. So in the final book, The Hero of Ages, again, we didn't kill off Kelsier because basically, in my opinion, Brandon Sanderson made Ellen Kelsier. In the first scene of the book that we are with Ellen, literally I was like, did you bring Kelsier back? Like, really? This is not Ellen. Now, again, characters can have arcs, they can grow, all of that stuff, but like, I felt like he grew into Kelsier's personality. Like, leave Ellen behind, here's Kelsier. And then Kelsier was brought up again and again and again. So I felt like, why did you kill him off if you just wanted him in the story the entire time? Why did you kill him in the first book? Because in the second book, you made him there versus referring back to him constantly. In the third book, basically, except for the small chunk in the middle where Ellen became Ellen again, and his personality of the old started showing through, which I loved. I loved that old personality. Started showing through, and it was less Kelsier type personality coming through, but he just made Ellen Kelsier, in my opinion. That's all I saw. And that's what greatly irritated me about the last two books, because I felt like Kelsier never really died. Which, I don't know, he was the, in their religion as the god and stuff, but he came through in other characters, which I did not like. Now, I did like, at the end of Hero Ages, that Vin and Ellen were killed off. I liked that Sazed basically took over, and I felt that was fitting. But I kind of feel like the reason why I liked Vin and Ellen's being killed off is because maybe finally Kelsier would die then. So, yeah. Those are my opinions on Mistborn Era 1. What are your opinions? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you see it a different way? Do you have a different perspective on Kelsier, on whether he was the reasons why he was constantly referred to and constantly brought back? Or can you give me examples of why Ellen's character was Ellen's character in the books and he wasn't like merged with Kelsier? Or maybe if he seemed like he was merged with Kelsier, why that's a valid thing? Or like, give me a different perspective on this, because I was talking with a friend on Discord about it, and she felt the same way as I did about this whole thing. Like, we had similar linear opinions about what was happening. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Why do you disagree with me? Why do you agree with me? I would love to chat with people who see a different perspective in these books than I do, or maybe can bring in a different light as to why the things I didn't like happened. Or yeah, let's discuss this. As always, like, comment, subscribe. I post every Wednesdays and sometimes Mondays and Fridays. Join my Discord. On my Discord, I chat with, well, basically myself right now about books. I have a couple of friends on there. So I want to chat with you about books on Discord. I want to chat with you about books here. Let me know what you think. Bye. To me when they kill off lighting. How are I think, like, it's blinding me. It's just a weird part of the day where the lighting's gonna be messed up.